With this WVLI News Update, I'm Rob West, back with a look at today's news right after this.
Stay connected to your community, even on the go. The WVLI Podcast Network brings you 3 great local shows. The WVLI News Update keeps you informed. Kankakee Valley Community Happenings gets you ready for the weekend. And This One Time in Kankakee shares the incredible stories of our area. Find the WVLI Podcast Network wherever you get your podcasts or at WVLI927.com. The voices you trust beyond the dial.
The Xandria Harris murder trial set to go to the jury today. Thursday afternoon, the defense rested their case, and prosecutors called 3 rebuttal witnesses. One of those witnesses, Kankakee County Sheriff's Department Chief Deputy Trent Bukowski, who testified that he'd done a search for records of any police calls for domestic disturbances between Harris and her then-boyfriend Darius Sullivan in 2018 or 2019, a time frame referenced during testimony earlier in the trial. Chief Bukowski said the search didn't turn up any records of such a call. Prosecutors are expected to rest their case today. The case should go to the jury for deliberations. Harris is accused of her part in the December 2021 shooting death of Brandley Police Sergeant Marlene Ripmanick and wounding of Officer Tyler Bailey. Darius Sullivan was found guilty last year of pulling the trigger on the gun that killed Ripmanick. He's serving a life sentence for the crime. During yesterday morning's meeting of the Kankakee County Board's Finance Committee, it was pointed out that County Auditor Colton Ekhoff has added a new feature to his reports.
I felt like this committee and the public should know how much money we are expending on storm damage and by month. So the total dollar amount thus far through the end of July is $2,669,598.96.
Ekhoff pointed out that total doesn't include some of the more expensive work, which is yet to be done in the county. If you notice a lot more traffic around Olivet this weekend, it's because it's move-in weekend for Olivet students. Luke Franklin is the university's executive director of traditional enrollment and has the numbers for us.
Total enrollment for the university is going to be just over 2,300 students, so we're looking at about 2,320 students. Of that, about 600 are incoming freshmen. We have about 140 students who will be transferring into Olivet from other institutions as well.
Fall semester at Olivet starts on Wednesday. Kankakee City Police investigating a fatal shooting overnight. In a press release, Chief Chris Kidwell says it was just after 10:30 last night. Officers called to the 600 block of South Elm for a report of several shots being fired. When they got there, officers say they found a 17-year-old on the ground with an apparent gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene of the shooting, name of the victim being withheld pending notification of next of kin. City Police ask anyone with information about the shooting to call their office or Crime Stoppers at 815-93-CRIME. Looks like there will be a Republican candidate on the ballot in Iroquois County for treasurer after all. A press release from the Iroquois County Republican Central Committee says once Kurt Albers announced he wasn't going to run for another term, the committee met, interviewed applicants, and chose Iroquois County Board Vice Chair Jamie Lee Backen to fill the slot on the ballot. Backen will fill the slot on the ballot for the November 3rd election. Jobs at historic levels in Illinois. State Department of Employment Security says non-farm payroll jobs jumped by 12,000 last month to a record high of 6.18 million. Unemployment also dropped to 4.9% in July, down 0.2% from June. There's going to be a special lunar eclipse happening next week, and NASA says it's turning into a science experiment. Bree Tennis has the details.
The next full moon will also have a partial lunar eclipse, and that will make the moon look red, but it's just an illusion. The Sturgeon moon will reach peak illumination just after 9 p.m. on the West Coast on August 27th. No special equipment needed to watch the moon orbit through Earth's shadow. Just look up. And while you're doing that, NASA will use orbiters to measure rapid surface temperature shifts on the moon. They say that data will help them engineer future lunar habitats. I'm Bree Tennis.
Jasper County, Indiana authorities report an arrest in connection with some funny money being passed around Rensselaer. According to reports, Rensselaer police called to a local gas station there last Saturday after it was found 2 juveniles had passed counterfeit currency at the establishment. Reports say Jasper County deputies were able to find the pair in a car with 20-year-old Nathan Hombeck, Jr. Officials say the juveniles were from Chicago, in town visiting Hombeck. A search warrant was executed at Hombeck's home in the 400 block of North McKinley in Rensselaer Sunday. That search allegedly turned up numerous counterfeit $100 bills, along with a handgun and a rifle. Law enforcement arrested Hombeck for counterfeiting and gun charges. Gas prices have taken another bit of a jump. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular no-lead gas, $4.40 across the land of Lincoln. That's up 8 cents from last week. Same gallon of gas running $4.37 on average in Kankakee County, 16 cents more expensive than at this time last Friday. AAA says gas in Iroquois County running $4.34 on average, $4.37 a gallon in Ford County, $4.29 a gallon in Grundy County, $4.41 in Will County. Across the state line, AAA says a gallon of gas sets you back $3.47 on average in Newton County, $3.64 in Benton County, $3.67 in Jasper County. AAA says gas running $3.55 a gallon on average across the Hoosier states. Time to see what's happening around Kankakee County this weekend with a look at a few of the events. Here's Angelina Gear, Executive Director of Visit Kankakee County.
There is plenty happening in Kankakee County this weekend. Enjoy Fridays after 5 at the Grove with live music from The Simple Remedy, or head downtown Kankakee for the South Sunset Stroll featuring the Stevie Wonder Experience. You can also catch Rosie and the Rivets at Rockin' on the Square in Mantino, or feel the adrenaline at Friday Night Lights Racing at the Kankakee County Speedway. All weekend long, celebrate 149 years of Pembroke with Pembroke Days, featuring parades, live music, food, family activities, and more. Then Saturday, head to the Fall Fly-In for airplanes, food, a bonfire, and plenty of aviation fun. Find more events at visitkankakeecounty.com.
In sports, Sox lost Thursday. The Cardinals won. The Cubs had the day off. Sox lost to the Braves 2-0 in a makeup game, while the Cards beat the Reds 10-9. Sox host the Mets starting tonight. The Cubs visit the Mariners. The Cards are at the Phillies. Chicago Sky hosts the Valkyries tonight. Chicago Fire FC take on the Red Bulls tomorrow night. NASCAR is in New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Dollar Tree 301 Sunday. And preseason action continues for the Bears this weekend as they visit the Bengals tomorrow night. That is a check of news and sports here on this Friday. Have a good rest of your day and a great weekend. Be safe, everybody. I'm Rob West.
In honor of my grandfather, Franklin Weber's recent passing, we're revisiting the pilot episode of This One Time in Kankakee.
This one time in Kankakee, I was run over with a tractor.
Featuring unreleased audio and new details, it's the story of a father's sacrifice that brought my grandfather 93 beautiful years. Listen now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.